And speaking of great ladies, our next speaker is someone who has dedicated her life to the sustainable development of sport in her country, in Europe, and later on also on a global level. For many in the Finnish sports movement, she's the lady who has greatly enriched the country's sport policy for 40 years. She served the Finnish government for 30 years in the sports sector and retired as director of sport in 2009. So she retired, but she is still now in the midst of a fully active retirement, leading the change as the co-chair of the International Working Group of Women in Sport. Now please give a warm welcome to Ms. Raija Mattila.
President Tarja Halonen, patron of the conference, Mrs. Pia Viitanen, Minister of Housing and other distinguished ministers, Mrs. André Vassiliou, Member of the European Commission, Mr. Thomas Bach, President of the International Olympic Committee, Sir Philip Craven, President of the International Paralympic Committee, Mr. Risto Nieminen, President of the Finnish Sport Confederation and National Olympic Committee, representatives of all our cooperative organizations, ladies and gentlemen. I am so delighted to see you all here today in this beautiful Finlandia Hall. The inauguration of the venue, masterpiece of a great man, architect Alvar Aalto, was celebrated in 1971. As a young university student at the time, and when passing by this new building covered with white marble, I remember how proud I felt of the design and of the men who built it. Today I am a big girl, a leader like you, and now it is our turn to change the world for the better in these inspiring surroundings. This is what the next days are all about, leading the change and being the change. As our World Conference on Women and Sport has journeyed from continent to continent, it has been stressed time and time again what an important opportunity the forum is for networking, welcoming fresh faces, and allowing to face-to-face interaction and exchange of ideas, frustrations, and achievements within and beyond the women and sport movement. Our expectation is that this 6th IWG World Conference will succeed in carving out a place of belonging, solidarity, inspiration, excitement, and empowerment, a place for women and sport to call home. For me, for the expert members of the working group of the IWG Secretariat and our team of partners and many supporters, this moment has been 4 years in making. It has been a heroic group of effort to realize this 6th IWG World Conference. With all of you, change makers, gathered here in Helsinki and those tuning in online, we have the honor together of commemorating something that has been 2 decades in making, the 20th anniversary of the Brighton Declaration on Women and Sport. Since its inception in 1994, the Declaration has amassed 419 signatories, organizations who have pledged their commitment to realizing gender equality in sport. Many of these organizations are represented here today and have taken part in IWG's progress report. It is this collective commitment amongst the most forward-thinking sports bodies, NGOs, GEOs, and the like that will sustain the push for gender equality in sport for the next 20 years. But the momentum of this day dates back further still. Many of you here today have in your own unique way devoted your life's work to empowering women, advancing sport. In planning this World Conference, we have aimed to provide a platform for your insights, a means to share your experiences, a forum for understanding how sport has advanced over the years, and to reach for those changes that remain still just beyond our grasp. Although we have poured our hearts and souls into the planning of the conference, it is you, conference delegates, who truly bring this occasion to life. None of this here today would be possible without you. You are more than 800 delegates from all 5 regions and nearly 100 countries. And for many of you, this is not your first IWG World Conference. May I ask you to please stand or raise your hand if you were present 20 years ago at the very first World Conference on Women and Sport in 1994 in Brighton, UK. Now, please. Now, please continue to remain in your position. So please, once again, up. I ask those of you who attended the second World Conference in 1998 in Windhoek, Namibia, also to stand or raise your hand. And keep standing. How about conferences in 2002 in Montreal, Canada, and 2006 in Kumamoto, Japan? If you were there in attendance, please join in. All up. The 5th IWG World Conference in 2010 in Sydney, Australia. If you were there, please join us. Keep your position. Now, to those of you who remain in your seats, to you I can say in jest, better late than never. You are also welcome to stand up and raise your hands. "20 years of momentum supports us here in Helsinki. Let's have a round of applause in recognition of this tradition that you continue to participating in this 6th IWG World Conference on Women and Sport." And though we are indeed many, we are not alone. We know that we are a part of something larger, joined by some 5,000 women and men who comprise the IWG's advocacy network. Change has traditionally been at the core of every IWG conference. For the 6th World Conference, we look at change from 2 vantage points through our conference theme, Lead the Change, Be the Change. On one hand, this change is personal. How can I be the catalyst of social change? What skills and personal qualities can make me more influential change maker? How can I inspire others to embrace values of gender equality? Am I brave enough to swim against the current? What can I learn from others who have dared to buck the trend and accomplish greatness? On the other hand, we see the need for wide-reaching change in social norms and values, expectations, organizational behavior in policies and policymaking. For this degree of change, we need leadership. We need leaders. We need you and others like you to lead the change. We need to convince others to appreciate the value in the changes that we are working to see realized in sport, in the lives of women and girls worldwide. Our goal is for all of us to leave this conference with a clear view of what we can do to be the change and to lead the change. The next few days will build up to the adoption of the legacy at the closing session of this conference. This will be our common commitment for change in the future. It is my sincere pleasure to welcome you to Helsinki, Finland, My home, the home of the IWG during the past 4 years, your home for the next few days. Welcome, bienvenue, bienvenidos, or as we say in Finland in 2 of our official languages, Finnish and Swedish, tervetuloa, välkommen. And without further ado, I'm honored to declare the 6th World Conference on Women and Sport officially open.